The forbidden truth of Ophiuchus, the 13th sign, what every zodiac house reveals. Feel that subtle ache of a missing piece when you look at your astrology chart? It's like there's an energetic itch that just needs to be scratched. Let's be really honest with each other. Astrology has been edited, and that happened many, many, many years ago. Millennia, in fact. We've been taught a version of the sky, not the truth of the magic of the stars. Something is signaling that there's a gap, and you can feel it. But just imagine, what if there was a missing key that unlocked this forbidden knowledge? Are you ready to enter the library of revelation? Because there is a 13th constellation that the ancients knew about, and it is Ophiuchus, the Serpent Bearer. He's the healer that was erased from the Zodiac because the powerful feared what humans could do if they had access to their own divine medicine. Both tropical and Vedic astrology have kept the illusion of 12 equal signs. But the sky's been whispering a 13th truth, one that bridges light and shadow, heaven and earth, body and soul. Hi, it's Beth here, True Sidereal Astrologist, and you clicked on this video for a reason. Because when I discovered Ophiuchus in my own chart, I stopped asking who am I supposed to be and discovered who I already am. So stick with me. By the end of this video, you will see how Ophiuchus shows up through the houses of the Zodiac, which will reveal to you not just who you really are, but how you are truly ascending and accepting the spiritual divine healing. And I will share with you my own Ophiuchus placement because I always bring receipts. When it comes to True Sky Astrology, we deal with the real stars and you get to see my real chart. Let's start with why Ophiuchus matters so much now. It's because there's an astrological renaissance happening, and that is True Sidereal Astrology. Yes, what I am practicing is a renaissance. Within the past 6 months, Dr. Danny has published her book on Ophiuchus. The International Sidereal Astrology Association just launched. Athen Comenti has launched a True Sky app that can be used on any platform and even your phone. And Zodiac Club 13 just launched a month ago. And it's all about this True Sidereal Astrology. The second reason why it matters now is because the sun does pass through Ophiuchus every single year in December. It is a constellation that crosses the ecliptic, which is the line that the sun travels on. And Ophiuchus is between Scorpio and Sagittarius. The other thing is, within Ophiuchus is the galactic center, a black hole at the middle of our galaxy. This is what the ancient mystics referred to as the gate of rebirth, the hidden threshold between death and illumination, Scorpio and Sagittarius. And this was where the sun was when the ancient Mayan calendar reset on 12/12/2012. It wasn't the end of the world, but it was the end of one cycle and the beginning of a new long cycle. And since then, more and more people have been watching Ophiuchus and seeing how the sun passes through there every December and that the moon passes through it every month. And it is activating a massive awakening on this planet. Now, if you watch a lot of metaphysical shows here on YouTube, you know that they're talking about all sorts of amazing awakenings and what's happening. Well, 2012 was when it started, and this is why. This is the key. They're coming up with all sorts of different reasons for it, but this is the key. We are connecting to that gateway to the divine, the 13th sign, Ophiuchus, the Serpent Bearer. This missing sign isn't just about changing dates. It's about realizing that astrology has kept this wisdom locked behind a forbidden door, even if they didn't know it. This is where the old system just breaks apart and your enlightenment begins. And you can jumpstart your growth right now by clicking the link below, Unlock the New Zodiac. It is my free PDF guide to you. And there's also a free chart calculator down below as well, so you can find out where Ophiuchus is in your chart. So now let's connect some of these dots with Scorpio being the as below. It is the depth. It is the insights that come from diving deep into shadow, into the psychic, into the realm of the dead, working with ancestors. All of that is part of Scorpio's vibration and why it's so intense, and why experiences here during Scorpio really shine a light on your deepest psychic awareness. It gets back into those parts of you that are hidden in your brain, in your nervous system, and in your memories. And that's why it's called so below, because it is below the ecliptic. And what's above Scorpio on the ecliptic? Well, that is Ophiuchus. That is the as above. That is the healing, the seat of your divine self, your highest self. And it's how you connect through that galactic center to the rest of the universe. So we are not just this galaxy, we are part of a greater universe. And that's the door I'm going to teach you about how to walk through safely and securely and in love and healing of the divine. Because once you walk through that door, then you can return from the high place and share the truth of your enlightenment through that energy of Sagittarius that shows up at the end of December and the beginning of January. As above, so also below. So we started below and we found the above, and then we brought it back into our lives and integrated it, and now we get to share it with our friends, family, and beyond. Maybe you're going to be called to that. So across cultures, the Serpent Bearer has been known as Asclepius, Thoth. Both are healers who mastered life and death in mythology. Even Moses bore a staff with a snake on it. Snakes are an important part of all of our mythologies, even Christian mythologies. Yes, there was a snake around the staff of the tree. And what did that serpent have to say? And who was it who first beheld that serpent? It was Eve. So not everybody sees Ophiuchus as a dude holding snakes. Some of us see it as women holding their own sensual and sexual power. It is a primal goddess. So how do you relate to Ophiuchus? Masculine healer? Feminine divine? Comment below, masculine healer or feminine divine, for your understanding and how you feel about Ophiuchus. This constellation is part of the same path. Whether astrologers acknowledged Ophiuchus or not, the sun has been going through this constellation and picking up this song from its stars. And once we have that understanding, that's what unlocks the truth. It isn't new. It's what the ancients always knew when they looked up at the sky and saw the moon and the planets going through this powerful constellation. And the reason you can feel it is because your soul is remembering the pattern of your most ancient ancestors or your most ancient incarnations. And I will show you where to find it in your chart and how it manifests for you based on your house placement. But first, if you feel like you're standing in the dark with no one around you, you don't have to do this alone. This is a path we walk together. Every seeker begins under the same sky. The call of the stars whispering through the branches of night. You follow the light deeper into the forest of the unseen. And there a guide appears. A golden invitation your entry to Zodiac Club 13, the secret celestial lounge, where the night hums with magic, candles flicker, stars shimmer, and your place is waiting. Welcome to the party, where mystics, dreamers, and star lovers gather to celebrate the real sky. Inside, visionaries study the cosmos, hands trace constellations as they truly are, and weave their stories through the cards of destiny. Here, wisdom flows like starlight, every spark a new awakening. You found your circle. Zodiac Club 13, the Midnight Lounge for seekers of the real sky, filled with 13 signs and timeless magic. So click on the link below to join me and other astrologers and seekers and mystics and dreamers and visionaries in the Zodiac Club 13. But here's the rub. There's been this conflict, and it shows up every once in a while in the news when the New York Times or somebody else says, oh, your zodiac is all wrong. Because for thousands of years, empires have feared what this would mean if we got our hands on this energy. Because Ophiuchus isn't an energy that obeys restrictive systems. It rewrites them to open up your soul. It represents healers, not warriors. This is your divine spark that doesn't need anybody's permission to evolve. So there's been this shadow of this being erased. And also, once you connect with this energy, once it starts activating, it will stir some restlessness, maybe a sense of loss, even have you questioning your identity. Old limited beliefs shed like an old skin. Let them. You'll begin to question everything under this divine light. Who you love, how you behave. So if you've been feeling this chaos lately, it's not because you're broken, it's because your empathy and your psychic abilities are coming online. It's that powerful because this is Kundalini energy rising up your spine through all your chakras. Now, I bet you've been wondering what the real question is. How do you work with this live serpent energy? Here's what I share with my clients and my Zodiac Club 13 students. First, you have to observe what is shedding, what is being sloughed off. Watch it go and know it is gone. Don't chase what's leaving your life. Next, anchor through daily ritual. And by ritual, I don't mean anything big and elaborate. Just a simple practice like breath work, journaling, or light meditation that helps this energy rise through the spine. Even practicing your posture with intention and knowing that you're connected to Mother Earth and Ophiuchus energy above, and you can draw that serpent energy down. And the third thing I would say to practice is learn to speak your truth out loud, because Ophiuchus energy has been silenced for so long. You need to get that chakra opened up and speak your divine truth. What is the serpent revealing to you, the Serpent Bearer? And how are you going to become your own Serpent Bearer, your own Kundalini energy friend and master, mistress, guru? Because there is a payoff when you're able to do all of this stuff. This empowerment, it comes with doing just the next right thing, whatever it is. It doesn't matter if it's walking the dog or going to see a sick friend. When you stop fearing the change and start becoming it, you embrace yourself as the healer, not the wounded. And there may be some moments of really intense experiences through this journey. That's to be expected. Or maybe you're one of those people who is just taking it step by step. You know what they say, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. It's up to you how you want to handle your own energy. But now we get to the juicy bit, the revelation of this hidden 13th gate. Every zodiac holds a story. Think of it as a living, breathing diamond of who you are, with each facet and a different expression of the 12 sacred areas of life. Each constellation sings a verse in your soul song, and together this forms the melody of your evolution. But when Ophiuchus moves through the houses, it turns your lived experiences into initiation points. Every challenge becomes a portal. Every pattern becomes medicine. Every moment becomes sacred. And we're going to go through each and every area, each and every house, and there are 12 houses. But I have a special 13th bonus for everybody at the end. So grab your birth chart. Remember, I've got a free birth chart calculator below, and let's get started. And even if you don't know what time you were born, because that regulates the houses, that's okay. Just keep watching and see what resonates for you. Ophiuchus in the first house leads you through the 13th gate of self. This is where you remember who you were meant to be, not who the world told you you were. Ophiuchus assists you in burning away any false identities, any stamps that other people have put on your identity that are not your truth. And what's left behind? Pure essence. This is self-healing as sovereignty. Ophiuchus in the second house. This is the 13th gate of worth. Your relationship to money, your possessions, and how your self-value transforms. Old scarcity programming begins to dissolve because you realize that your true currency is the energy from the stars, and it is infinite. Ophiuchus is teaching you how to align to access your abundance. It's not about acquisition or taking. It's about being in harmony with spirit. The more you expand your spirit, the more you expand your worth for yourself, for those you love, and as a reflection of the divine. Ophiuchus in the third house. This is the 13th gate of voice. Here the Serpent Bearer is stirring your throat chakra. Words carry spells, and you begin to speak the truth that heals. Your communication becomes alchemy, transforming your conversations into creation. A person with Ophiuchus in the third house has the opportunity to become the awakened mystic. Ophiuchus in the fourth house is the 13th gate of roots. This is your ancestors, your family of origin, the roots of where your emotional blueprint was made. When you access Ophiuchus in the fourth house, you help heal family dynamics that have been harming. You help heal ancestral wounds. You help heal this generation and into the generation beyond that. This can shift your foundations, but it's just so that the healing can begin and peace can finally be the root of your family and your emotional body and well-being. Ophiuchus in the fifth house is the gate of joy. It is creative freedom. It is romance and playfulness. It is where pleasure becomes purpose, and all those little things that light you up and bring you joy are sacred. Ophiuchus is inviting you to express your divinity fearlessly and authentically. This isn't about putting on a mask or play acting. It's about embodying your role. And knowing that joy itself is medicine, priceless. Ophiuchus in the sixth house, that is the gate of devotion. This is about acting as the sacred brother, sister, sibling to those around you and to yourself and to the universe. Your routines become sacred. Your meals become gifts. Your health becomes a necessary thing because you become that divine temple and you teach others to do the same. When you stop looking at all the things on your list as duty and instead perceive them as the sacred practices that they are, that's where Ophiuchus reminds you that every act of care is an act of worship. Because what do we do in this world? We do so many things. And the sixth house, that gate of devotion, is one of responsibility, but it is also one of peaceful momentum. Ophiuchus in the seventh house. This is the 13th gate of reflection. This is the self discovering the other. This is the other discovering yourself. By looking at the other, you see your truth. And Ophiuchus is reflecting your divine truth back at you. You'll begin to attract the partners and allies who not only challenge you to evolve, but also celebrate who you've already been. Ophiuchus burns away any restriction to true connection with others and replaces it with conscious union. Ophiuchus in the 8th house. This is the 13th gate of power. Yeah, I said it because guess what? The 8th house is aligned with Ophiuchus and Scorpio. Here lies the serpent's throne, the underworld of transformation, guiding you through the darkness so you can bring the mysteries up and journey through that galactic center. So yes, death, intimacy, shadow, and rebirth are all part of this gate. They dance together in this house, this 8th house. Ophiuchus here, he teaches us mastery through surrender, and this allows the rebirth of your soul's power. As above, so below, as within, so without. Honestly, when you think of the 8th house, you think of the shape of the 8. Above is Ophiuchus, below is Scorpio. And this is the serpent's dance, bringing things into the real world, bringing the reality of your real world and your struggles with shadow into the light to be perceived, to be acknowledged, to be honored, and to be transformed into your true power. Ophiuchus in the 9th house. This is the gate of enlightenment because your old beliefs will crack like a shell and you will be reborn as a phoenix rising from the ashes. Your philosophies, your worldview are heightened and brightened and clarified and expanded. In this 9th house, you will find a sense of adventure taking over your soul. You'll have this urge to tell your story. You'll have this ability to be the philosopher guide with a twinkle in his eye. This is where you outgrow your limiting beliefs for good. You've done it. You've gotten there. You become really open and optimistic, and with it comes all the luck of the universe. Ophiuchus in the 10th house. This brings up the gate of purpose, of your legacy in this world. This is where your calling, your public life, your career realign with the divine purpose. You stop seeking status. You stop seeking awards. You stop seeking the bump of recognition. And ego ambition falls away and your soul's work remains. All you have to do is step back and allow your soul to expand outward. This is the 10th house, the gate of purpose. Because Ophiuchus in the 10th house, this gate of purpose, is there to remind you that mastery isn't about recognition. It's about resonance. Can you feel that hum starting? Yeah, That's Ophiuchus. When Ophiuchus is in the 11th house, it reveals the gate of vision. Your communities, allies, and dreams begin to shift. You no longer chase belonging. You become it, attracting your tribe with ease and grace. Ophiuchus is activating the visionary leader, the bridge builder, who is here to shape the new era. That is the magic of Ophiuchus in the 11th house and the 13th gate of vision. And I promised I was going to share my chart and which house Ophiuchus is in for me. Welcome to Ophiuchus, the gate of spirit. Here the serpent returns to the void. Here Ophiuchus dissolves all ego, all the walls between time and space, between the seen and the unseen, that all begins to fade. You are the walker between worlds. Ophiuchus awakens the mystic within, and you realize that the one is all and all is one. You are the beginning and the end, and no beginning and no ending. And you know and you live in motion, the only true power, the power of love. But what if you want to walk through a different gate? What if you want to explore something else? Well, Ophiuchus is here for that too, because the final location, the Zodiac itself. This is the 13th gate of time and space. Learning to embody the highest version of yourself through daily, monthly, or yearly ritual allows you to play with each of these different gates. So when you follow the moon, it goes through its phases and it goes through Ophiuchus. And you get to find out, where is it going through Ophiuchus? What time of day is it? That will dictate what house it is in for all of us. This is both deeply personal and deeply communal. You can do these together. You can walk through the gate with someone you love, with a group, a coven, a grove, a circle, a club like Zodiac Club 13. Every year in December, the sun is traveling through Ophiuchus. If you align the time of day with a particular house, it will connect more powerfully for you in order to introduce you to that particular gate. So if you picked up on which gate you have in your natal chart, you can look and see how that aligns with the gate you want to go through. What else is placed there? What is Ophiuchus' partner there in your natal chart? And when and where is it in that house for you as the sun travels through Ophiuchus? And finally, here is that forbidden truth revealed. When you connect to Ophiuchus and start listening to the voice of the divine, you're not just adding another layer to your understanding of astrology or life. You're connecting circuit to source, to God, Goddess, the universe, Great Spirit, divine energy, source, higher power, highest self, whatever you want to call it, it's up to you. You don't have to do what I tell you, because you are sovereign in and of yourself. And when you connect with Ophiuchus, you'll start getting those downloads, you'll start getting those messages, you'll start getting that Kundalini awakening, and you'll be prepared for it, knowing that you can stop chasing wholeness and become wholeness. You're no longer one of the 12 disciples. You are the 13th. You are the key. You are the maestro. You are the director of your life with divine connection and guidance. This is your awakening. This is the payoff, your return to the real sky. To keep deepening in this connection and in this energy, go ahead and click the link below to unlock the new Zodiac, my free True Sidereal starter guide sent right to your inbox. And if you're ready to be a part of the community of this true sidereal renaissance, join me in Zodiac Club 13, where we study the living sky together, one constellation at a time. Because here's the truth, the stars aren't finished writing your story. They're just waiting for you to wake up and pick up your pen and start the next chapter. And now that you've learned the forbidden truth of Ophiuchus in your birth chart, you might be wondering how true sidereal astrology really works. Well, I've got you covered, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video up here, it's way more powerful. Blessed be, namaste, and all that jazz. I'll see you in the next video.